So we've derived the formula for the time, then the time of flight, and the range. How about for the maximum height? Okay, so from what we know that h is what? Half gt squared. Okay, we also know that h is what? Ut plus or minus, but we'll use minus since it's projected upwards. Half gt squared. Okay, so in this case we are going to make use of the small g. So what we are going to do is to substitute these formulas right here into this for t. So in this case h will be u. So remember that vertically our u is not just ordinary u, but u sine theta, like what we did for range right here. So u sine theta over 1, we are substituting this equation, what we already, then t is what? U sine theta over g, right? Then minus half multiplied by g multiplied by u sine theta over g. Now remember, this whole thing is squared, so we'll square this. Okay, let me just do it this way, squared. Okay, so this will be u squared sine theta over g minus half g will cancel g, will be left with 1 since this is squared and this is just 1g. So we'll be left with 1g multiplied by u squared, okay, sine theta over g. So this should be sine squared theta, sine times sine, that's sine squared. Okay, then we'll end up having h equals, this should be, okay, so this is more like 1 minus half, like what we did the other time. So this would be u squared, so 1 minus half is half, right? Okay, so u squared sine square theta over g. This whole thing as h equals to u squared sine square theta over 2g. So there we have our formula for the maximum. Here's a question on the board. A ball is projected at an initial velocity of 23 meters per second at an angle of 60 degrees to the horizontal. So the question says you should calculate the time of flight, the maximum height, and the range, okay, of the projectile. So go ahead and pause this video, then try and solve it. So for the time of flight, we know that t is what? 2u sine theta over g. So that will be 2 into 23 sine 60 over g. So let's take our g as 10. So when you put this into your calculator, you should have 0.52 seconds. Then for the maximum height, okay, is what? U square sine square theta over 2g. So u is 23 squared sine square 60 over 2 into 10. So this should give you 0.3775 meters. Range is what? u squared sine 2 theta over g. So this would be 23 squared sine 2 multiplied by 60 over 10. So this should give you 0.779 meters or thereabout. Okay. Then also, now take for example, if a machine gun is to shot into the air, like you want to shoot with a machine gun, and the question says, at what angle should the machine gun be placed so that we can have a maximum displacement to the bullet when shot? The question is just asking you to calculate the angle at which you have the maximum range. So to have the maximum range, theta has to be at 45 degrees. Why is that? U squared sine 2 theta over g. Sorry. Okay, so when this is 45, you see why now. When this is 45, at the end of the day, we will arrive at u squared sine